Whoa. Getting right, I'm a UPK nigga. Straight out of one west of the best, be the best to the niggas. Living trying to contend with the stress, going through the test, no access. Country repressed, slaves. Niggas is dying off in waves. Living in dirt, I was so great. Niggas crossed off with the cross off or the white chalk over the bodies and roads that you made. Americans killing us, saying they fear us with the drugs in the hood. How my niggas delirious with a gun in my face. All because of my race, with boom blast. This is still subverting my ass. Like a chicken slaughter, heart beating harder and harder. Baptized with these words, never did with water. So now we praising the Father. Get straight to the Father, just looking for the water. This fucking taking my dog, nigga, it's war time. Like it's up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light on that ass, get no time. You can do up, shut up, but get your ass up. Cause we ain't got time to be playing. It's all fucked up America. Happy for the detail, for the slavery, with your soul, you didn't give it back what you gave for a clean slate. Try to imitate you was on fate, America. Every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
Timeline, giving the real to expose HBC. Five, in the mouth, I might shoot. But getting years past time, so in a minute, that's fine. I hope you get it when you crash mine. Can I simple with the flip with your last line? You're a little confused, man, my damn shame. It's the exact thing that your ass fried. Bombs from the sky, rich level lullaby. Living in the fly, but we got an alibi. Bombs from the sky, rich level lullaby. Devil is high. See him from the parking lot, nigga finna ball out. Devils finna fall out, all our warfare, nightmares. And the get out the murder this for years. And nigga shit won't go turn around. I never learned from this motherfucker burns out. Yeah, in them streets. Told them the riches of all of you niggas bring home to this beast. You root for time, but we play for keeps. I pray that my father bring home to this beast. Remember them times we hung on the trees. All of you nations brought down to your knees. Remember them shit, they brought us in fleets. Fuck they Apollo, bring the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
God is going to destroy this empire, man. You got to see Satan in this place. You think them fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, baby. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and light, right, man. Because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth.
You ain't like me, I sip my brand new wine glass. Okay, money, we was bootlegging that Comcast. So drugs and disrespect, I made my mind mad. Doing 500 magnums, where you find that? All that sinning, I can't never get that time back. To fool a nigga in the book is where you hide that. I pray to the Lord, cause he gave my crime back. Still getting all this blind to the facts, we blind to the race, we pour in our face. Money in the bank, only time I'm going to chase. See, I'ma let my pelvis participate with her waist. Ain't no pleading the crack, cause the law gon' handle my case. Today, violation. Ain't violation. I like the code section 2. Subsection 33. I fuck with Israel, or else we supposed to the beats. I ain't talking Dre, man, now lady. Cause she said they pray for the day, till Christ come to slay. There will be no day, no sunshine, you got the thing. That shit that was fun. Yeah, that would feel it's a gold chain, tinted on like the back bill. I just ran that bitch. We ain't have a trap house, but I did hand that shit. But then he go rambling, pocket collapse and scrambling. That hell make me patriotic. I'm here. It's a Monica drinking spring water in the fall. This story go, I spring the water, then I fall. Got a bite size 38, that's my mouthpiece. You beat the pussy right and she put your name on the house lease. I walk into the Congress and put bullets in her house seats. Coppers giving rats toolies, that's how you see my skis. I think she's 6 hairs or 7. But damn, she got some nice feet. She fucks with off like damn, you got some nice feet. My dick ain't, you can't speak, just why they bitches like me. And you ain't nothing like me. You just let it stop like damn, why you ain't like me? All love, shorty. I'm just so particular. Girl, that was under, shoot your ass perpendicular. I don't want to get it over. I'ma have to get ready. You say he the shit extra porcelain. I'm shit in there. I'm talking that green metal slush. You gotta stand back just to flush. Run right so I'm waiting to rush. The rules I want to put in front of the bus. Where's your rose at, nigga?
All right. Clap it up. All right, we're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And what we teach so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, your true identity, your true culture, according to the Bible. And of course, according to history, you know what I mean? According to geographical locations, you know what I'm saying? According to archaeology, but our foundation, of course, is the Bible. You understand? I'm precinct officer of 500 Shabbat Yallah, and tonight is the Wednesday night law class. Every day of the week we're open. You understand? Isupk. Monday night we have class. You got the history class. Tuesday night brotherhood class. Wednesday night law class. Thursday night is the scripture breakdown class. So you want to gather all your questions, you know what I'm saying, and tune into class and ask them, type them in the chat. You know what I mean? It's better to come to the school physically, but if you want to watch online, that's Tawab too. You know what I mean? As long as you get this truth, you understand? But again, tonight is the Wednesday night law class. I'll be holding it down dolo, you know what I mean? Or to another officer get here, you know what I'm saying? And my topic tonight, man, you know, it's heavy because a lot of times we go into a whole lot of different books and doctrines, man, and philosophies of men. You understand? We think that we can gain knowledge and, you know, prestige and honor out of reading and studying other books. Now, I ain't saying, you know, go out and be no dummy. Ain't nothing wrong with going to school and getting straight A's. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But please believe this. That doctrine, that degree, that can't get you life. You understand? You know what I mean? That can't save your life, man. That can't get our people off crack. You understand is what I mean. I mean, you can know physics, you can know, you know, geology, mathematics, you can be a genius. I mean, we got here in the school, we got geniuses, man. I mean, because not only are they, you know, versed in history and books and you know, going to school and learning, but most of all, as I said earlier, they're grounded in this Bible. You know what I mean? That's our foundation. You know what I mean? So that's going to be my topic tonight, man. You know, we're going to go in on that. And again, man, we teach so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, you know, who we are, man, our culture, because before we came here, we had a culture. You understand? Before we spoke English, we spoke Hebrew. We had our own language. We had things that we ate. We had a dress code. We wore garments, you see? And what we're doing in the earth today, man, is what the priests and prophets did in the earth when they was alive. You know what I mean? They told the truth according to the Bible, according to the scriptures. You know what I mean? They followed Christ. I mean, even before Christ hit the scene, you know what I mean? You had brothers following the scriptures. You know what I mean? All throughout the Bible, the Old and the New Testament. Like throughout this whole Bible, man, it gives you laws on how to govern yourself, man. You know what I mean? How to govern your house, how to govern your family, your kids. You know what I mean? Because for sure, even when we was to get our own land back right now, it'll fall into ruin because we'll beef with each other. We wouldn't know how to structure it. Well, here in the UPK, we're taught rank and order. You understand? It's somebody that's above you at all times. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go into as we do every week. Start off with the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. I'll give y'all time to get there. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Also, you want to tune in to Commanding General Yohana's Monday night, blackwatch.news. You want to log on to that, subscribe, like, share, subscribe every Monday, you know what I mean, Eastern Standard Time. You know what I mean? Commanding General Yohana, of course, is the leader of our nation. You know what I mean? You got the Most High Christ, then you have Commanding General Yohana, man. I mean, a lot of people, you know, they hear us say that, they be like, oh, y'all worshiping man. No, man, the Most High always chooses, you know what I mean, one, to lead the children of Israel, man, just like he did with Moses, like he did with Christ, like he did with Noah, you
You know what I mean? A lot of the priests and prophets, man. Most I always choose one. You know what I mean? Like in Ephesians, you know what I'm saying? We one body, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Shalom Yafshadab. What's
Hey,
going on,
what's
Shalom?
going on, Shabbat, y'all?
I'm cooling, I'm cooling. Hey, bro. Okay, I was just about to go into Zephaniah right quick, Baba Kashah.
Yeah.
Again, for the ones who just tuning in, we're going to go into the Bible is the only book of God. You know what I mean? Of course, there's a lot of different books people like to study and try to act like they're going to get wisdom, you know, and knowledge from. But of course, you know what I mean? It ain't gonna stop you from being a homosexual by knowing, you know, the square root of the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? So you can be smart all you want, but this is the only book that's going to actually teach you how to live. You know what I mean? And when I mean how to live, I mean you can be alive and not be alive. You understand? Like it's a bunch of people out here that's, you know, spiritually dead. You know what I mean? Like they don't know who they are. They don't know nothing about the law, statutes, and commandments. You ask them, it's only 10. Hell, you ask Creflo Dollars, he'll say, if you keep the law, you sin it. Oh, that ain't nowhere in the scriptures. You know what I mean? If you would, Baba Kashal, sir.
Come. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired.
Right off top, you giving an order. Right off the bat. What's an order? It's a command. That's the root word of commandment, command. So if somebody command you to do something, they're giving you an order. Off top right here, it said, gather yourselves together. And it's going to go on to say who it's talking to. It say, gather yourselves together, and then said it again, yea, gather together. Then it turn around and say, O nation not desired. Now, who is that nation that's not desired? We got to ask ourselves these questions, man. Who is that nation that's not desired? Who is on the bottom of society? You know what I mean? Who got all the bull crap jobs, man?
Right.
Who picking your strawberries, man? Who picking, you know, who cleaning up your hotels?
Right.
Who building your hotels? Ask Trump. You know who the best builders on the planet are? The Isupkites, the so-called Mexicans, man. They God's chosen people as well. And if you don't know, if you so-called black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you belong to the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. In other words, we are the Israelites. You understand? We are the Jews of the Bible. If you so-called black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, that mean you Native Indians, Seminole Indians, you know what I mean? North American Indians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, you know, Venezuelan, Guatemalan, Mexican, Brazilian, Negro, Haitian, Jamaican, Trinidad, Tobago. You are God's chosen people, man, according to the Bible, man. We've been lied to about our identity. We've been led to believe that we Africans, man. We're not Africans. We're not the same people as them. I bring it out every class, man. Them Africans, they know that we're not them. The problem is, we don't know that we're not them. We have no clue. This is why the other nations, and specifically the Caucasian race, been hating us so much, man. It's bigger than what you could ever possibly believe, man. That's why when I heard this truth, man, I mean, I came, you know, running, man. You know what I mean? I came running into this truth, man, because I never heard this Bible being broke down the way, you know, that the priests and prophets in here breaks it down and have taught us. You know what I mean? They got us off the streets, man, and taught us how to break these scriptures down, man. It's that heavy and it's that deep. You understand? If you would, could you start from the top again, Baba Kashab?
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired.
We're that nation not desired, man.
Wow.
They say old nation. You know what I'm saying? When they say old nation, nation mean race. So old race of people that's not desired on the planet Earth. That's what it's talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? Baba Kashar, if you would, let me get Ephesians 4 and 4, Baba Kashar. We're gonna get Ephesians 4 and 4. I'm gonna show you, man. You can't, you know, when you reading this Bible, you can't bring Christianity into this, man. Because nowhere in the Bible does it say Christianity anywhere. You see what I'm saying? So you can't go into the Quran and be a Muslim. You can't go into Buddhism and Hinduism and Rastafarianism, talking about Haile Selassie and all that, man. All that is garbage, man. You can't have different denominations, man. One church over here on this corner, another church over here on that corner. You know what I mean? And y'all teaching two totally different things, man. You got your Catholics, you got your Baptists, the Episcopalian. You got all these different factions of Christianity, man. You understand? And come to find out, all of it under the umbrella of Christianity is garbage.
That's right.
According to the Bible. You got that, sir?
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 4. There is one body.
There is what?
One body.
You hear that? One body, man. It's one body, man. It ain't a bunch of different bodies spread it out all over the earth, man, teaching different doctrines, man. Read on.
There is one body and one spirit.
One what?
One spirit.
It's one spirit. What's the spirit? You know what I mean? You let the Christian church tell you, they catch the Holy Ghost all the time. In church, you know, doing all them dance moves. You know what I'm saying? America's Got Talent is the Christian church, man. You got a bunch of different actors and you got memers in it, dancers and drummers and, you know what I'm saying, singers and dancers, man. It said one spirit. It ain't say, you know, a bunch of different musicians, man, and guitarists. You understand? Read on.
There is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling.
You see that? We're called in one hope of our calling. What's that hope, man? Hope that when we die, we're going to come back, man. Hope that a black man going to crack that sky and save us, man, from this oppression that we've been living for the last 500 years, man. You understand? Hope that our kingdom is coming. You see? You can't go open up no other book and get this kind of hope. You know what I mean? That's why they call it the gospel. They call the Bible gospel. What do gospel mean? Gospel means good news, man. And the great news, the greatest news on the planet Earth, that God is black, Christ is black. We are God's chosen people, the Hebrew Israelites, man. The Israelites. Christ coming back to save his people. We're going to be put back in our land. Back in Israel, back in Jerusalem, man. Nazareth, Bethlehem, all those lands. You know what I mean? They done took our lands and divided them up, man. Iraq, Iran, different parts of Saudi Arabia. All that was our land, man. They stole it. Now you got people over there fighting, the so-called Israelis. Listen, nowhere in the Bible do it call anybody an Israeli. What the hell is an Israeli? I've seen Israelites in the Bible, but you got Israelis, which is the so-called Caucasian man, over there acting like he's the Jew, which is why he called himself Jewish. You understand? And then you got the other group over there, you know what I mean, calling themselves, you know what I'm saying, something that they're not either. You know what I'm saying? And they're fighting over a land that don't belong to neither one of them. They're actually fighting over land that belong to the lost 12 tribes of the children of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? Drop that. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 34 and 16, Baba Kishar. We're about to get into it now. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, before we get that, you know what I mean, I'm going to bring out a couple points right quick. You understand? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, you know, well, the topic of the class is the Bible is the only book of God. But a lot of times, man, we try to run to that Quran, man. We try to run to Quran, not knowing that the Quran is nothing but plagiarism of the Bible. Most of the Quran, they plagiarize in the Bible, man. But they trying to teach you how to serve an Arab. You know what I'm saying? They trying to teach you God like God is an Arab. God ain't no Arab, man. You understand? Muhammad ain't never done nothing for you. You know what I mean? Show me in the Bible where it tell you to strap yourself up with a bomb and go blow yourself to smithereens, man. Did y'all see what happened with the Afghanistan people? They jumping on the plane falling off the plane to their death, man. That ain't in the Bible. But all of them believe in that Quran, man. Afghanistan, Pakistan, all of them, man. They believe in that Quran, that Muslim, man, that Islam, man. You know what I mean? Ain't no Arab, no messenger of God, man. Muhammad ain't no messenger of God. He is a Arabian. You understand? Ain't no Arab, no messenger for God, man. Y'all read that 48 laws of power, thinking you can get some wisdom out of that, man. Ain't no wisdom in that book, man. Can't teach you how to stop eating pork. You know what I'm saying? How to stop being a homosexual, man. How to love your people over the other nations of people. You see? The Bible actually teaches these things, man. How we never knew this? It's because the Christian church, man, Christianity, they don't teach this Bible, man. They teach daily bread pamphlets. You see? That's what they teach, man. The book of Jasher, that's trash, man. The book of Enoch, garbage. You see? All that's garbage, man. You know what I mean? And let me tell you about that Muhammad. That Muhammad, man, he met the real Jews, man. And he was learning from the real Jews, man. And then he turned around and lied and said the angel Gabriel visited him and choked him in some cave and gave him all this and told him to read certain parts of the Bible. And you know, that's how he got his knowledge. So that's how the Quran came about. Man, listen here, man. The angel Gabriel ain't came and spoke to no Muhammad, man, and told him worship no goddamn rock. That rock that's over there in Mecca. They so stupid, man. Then we turn around and follow them. We throw a kufi on our head. Now we you know, saying all they little sayings. When you don't even know your original language, man. You understand? It's crazy. You know what I mean? But listen, man, Muslims, they quote the Bible more than they quote out the Quran. You ever sit down and spoke with a Muslim? He breaking down scriptures out the Bible. You ain't heard not one prophecy being brought forth or out of the Quran when it comes out of that Muslim's mouth. You see? They quoting our records, man. You know what I'm saying? About that, how you got our people, man, Jamaicans, man, believing in that Haile Selassie and that Rastafarianism, man. That doggone Ethiopian, man. You understand? We're not Africans, man. What we talking about Haile Selassie for, man? Talking about Rastafari and all this garbage, man. Man, we need to get back to these law, statutes, and commandments in these Bible, man. In this Bible. And it's well over 10, man. It's over 613 law, statutes, and commandments in these scriptures, man. We just read Zephaniah 2 and 1. It said, gather yourselves together. That was a command right there. He commanded us to gather ourselves together. There's one. But in the 10 commandments, I don't see where it say, thou shalt not be a homosexual. But we do know it's in the scriptures. That's a commandment. You see? Man, we gotta stop this garbage, man. We gotta come about them Christian churches, man. Come about them Muslim mosques, reading all these dumb, stupid books, man. Listen, man, the Bible is the only book of God. And the only way you're gonna learn, you know what I'm saying, what's in this book, if you come into the Israelite school of UPK, man, and learn under Commander General Yohana, man, and these priests and prophets of the Lord in here, man, which are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You see? But Khan are the one that Isaiah 34 and 16, if you will.
Yeah.
Salakia, let me
Shabaya, you want did you want the birth of Islam out of Babylon, Timbuktu?
No, yeah. Isaiah 34 and 16. I mean, unless you want to bring it out, you could. You could.
I'm too wild.
All right.
So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord.
Hold on, Salakia. Let me get that with you. That's the one, though.
Yeah.
That's the one right there. See, when that first, when you read that right there, ain't no use of reading about Islam now, because the first thing he said was seek ye out of the book of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They can take that thing and ball it up and slam dunk it in the trash. That Islam, man. and all these other false religions, man. You know what I'm saying? We're in the book of Isaiah 34:16. Okay, you can go ahead. 3:45.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 34, and verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Seek ye out of the book of the Most High, and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
You see that? That's heavy right there. I wanted you to read the whole thing first, and I'm gonna go back and break it down, man. That's heavy right there what they're saying. Because it's telling you what book to seek ye out of, to seek him out of. You see what I'm saying? Read it again from the top, Baba Kashal. Now I'm gonna break it down.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, and verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Most High.
You see that first, the first thing it said seek. What it mean to seek something? You know what I mean? It mean to look for, man. You know what I mean? So you gotta look for the Most High in this book right here, man. The book of the Lord, which is the Bible. We love to call it the good book. What they say when they go into the Christian church, oh, I'm going to hear the word. Man, listen. You're going to hear a bunch of words, all right? They call lies. You understand? You put all them words together that you go listen to in the Christian church, and it all equal up to lies, man. Lies and philosophy and cliches, and when blessings go up, when praises go up, blessings come down. No, listen, man. When pork go up to your mouth, you gonna come down with high blood pressure. Why they don't teach you that? Keep reading.
Seek ye out of the book of the Most High, and read.
And what?
And read.
You see that? It says, and read, man. You got to read these scriptures, you know what I mean, to understand what's going on. And not only read them, because you can't just go read the Bible like it's some novel. You got to be taught these scriptures, man, by the real priests and prophets of the Lord, which is what we're doing right now in class, breaking these down so you can understand what it's actually saying. You understand? You read along with the priest so you can understand these scriptures, man. We're going to break them down for you. That's what we're here for. We do it every Saturday at camp. You understand? Read on.
No one of these shall fail.
You see that? No one of these shall fail. No one of what? No one of these prophecies, man, shall fail you. You understand? None of these prophecies going to fail you. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
None shall want her mate.
None shall want. You know what that means? None shall want her mate. Don't no other book match the Bible, man. Match these prophecies. You can't go on the Quran and then they tell you about World War III. You see? You can't go on the Quran and it tells you that Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Wow.
You want to know who Esau is? That's the so-called Caucasian. You understand? You can't go in no other book and it accurately tell you the real names of the nations of people, man. It tells you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the children of Israel. We the Israelites. It tells you the Caucasians, they are Edomites. You see? It tells you the so-called African are Hamites. Don't no other book tell you that, man. But the Bible does. Why? Because we seek ye out the book of the Lord, man, and we read it, man. And we understand that nothing in this Bible is going to fail us, man. You see? And we understand that there's no match. There's nothing, no other book matches the Bible. Keep reading.
For my mouth it hath commanded.
For my what?
For my mouth it hath commanded.
For my mouth it had commanded. Meaning these words come from the mouth of God, man. Now it's coming out the mouth of the priests and prophets in the Isupk. You understand? Why? Because we was taught by the men above us. All the way to the prophets in the Bible, man. We can go all the way back to Moses, man. You see? Now, I'm glad we say that because the Christianity will tell you that the laws is done away with. When nowhere in the Bible do it say that the laws are done away with.
Well,
how in the hell are the laws done away with when sin is transgression of the law?
Well,
in other words, you're saying you can break the law. You can sin, basically. They say the law is done away with, but tithes is a law. You keep that law, don't you? You didn't do away with that. All the other laws is done away with, but let's keep that tithes one. Let's get that money. You understand? Keep reading.
For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
And his spirit, it had gathered them, man. We come together under one body, like we read in Ephesians, man. One spirit, man. One hope, man. This is how it gathered us together, man, in the Isupk. No different how Moses gathered the children of Israel, man, when he was bringing them out of the land of Egypt under the command of the Most High. We was out there in the wilderness, man, what, 40 years? You know what I'm saying? We was learning the law, statutes, and commandments again because why? We learned the ways of those Egyptians, man. We had to shake that filth off of us, man. We was over there reading about commissions. We was over there reading about Kemetic science and their doctrine. Moses had to give us our book, our laws back, man. The Bible, man, which is what we're doing right now. You see? The Lord gathered these books, man. Keep reading. No. The Lord gathered these books. Everything that's in the Bible, these books that's in this King James Version Bible, the Lord gathered them. Was it more books to the Bible? It absolutely was. But the Lord wanted us to have these books. You understand? These books that's in this King James Version Bible, Old Testament and New Testament, including the Apocrypha. The Lord gathered these for us, man. Read that part right there again, Baba Kashai.
For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
You see that? And his spirit, it have gathered them. Gathered what? These records, man, these books. The Lord let these books stand the test of time, man, and reach us here in 2021, man. These books done been in the Qumran caves. We was always on the run. You know what I mean? We always took the most important books, man. The ones the Lord wanted us to have. You see? Now the class topic is the Bible is the only book of God. You see? This is why he have gathered them, man. Gathered what? These scriptures, man. These priests and prophets before us, man. You see? You know what I mean? You can't just pick up the Bible and just read it. You know what I mean? You must be taught the Bible. Drop down to verse 15, Baba Kashai. No, Salakia. Matter of fact, drop that and we're going to go to Genesis. Yeah, we're going to go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 7 and 8. Let's get some more on this, man. About these, you know what I mean, these records left for our learning in this book, man, called the Bible, man. And Bible just means big book, man, or collection of writings. The Latins, the real Latins, which were Caucasians, and the Greeks, you know what I'm saying? They named it Bible, Biblios. That's what the term Bible comes from, which means collection of books or composition of writings. A big book. That's all it means, you see? But this is our records, man. You know what I'm saying? We kept meticulous records. We wrote things down, man. No different from, like I say all the time. You go on Facebook, what it say? It say, what's on your mind? Right. Write down what's on your mind. Well, we did the same thing then. They tried to call them hieroglyphs and this and that. Call it what you will. Nonetheless, we wrote things down. The Most High even put constellations in the sky for Adam. You see what I'm saying? He wrote them things down, man. And he passed them down to his offspring, man. His seeds. Now here we have it here today. Now that's the power of the Most High right there. You know what I mean? It ain't singing and dancing and jumping up and down doing the electric boogaloo in some Christian church. If you will, Baba Kashai, sir.
That's the book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 7. And the Most High power formed man of the dust of the ground. And
when it say the Most High formed man of the dust, man, listen, you got Christians who think that the Most High got up off his throne and came to the earth and just picked up a handful of dirt and like some clay and molded a man.
Right.
That's what Christians will have you believe. Of course, that is not what they're saying. All right? That's not what they're saying. When they say, you know what I'm saying? When they say God formed man of the dust of the ground, meaning he took Adam. Adam was in a very low state. You see what I'm saying? When I say very low state, meaning he didn't have nothing, man. He didn't, he was poor. He was in a low condition, no different than how blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is in a low state right now.
Right.
We living in a hellish condition.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were walking around eating what they wanted to eat. Lawless people, man. But the Most High chose Adam and formed him of the dust, meaning he took him from a low state. Keep reading.
Hey, Salaki Shabbat Yah.
Come on.
I got a precept for you if you want it.
Oh, come on, bring it on out, sir. Absolutely.
The book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
So precepts are, how our Christian brothers and sisters say that God took dust from the earth and created a man, when that's not
Right.
true. And that's not what the Bible says. So the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 2, it says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
You see that? Yeah. Excellent precept. Get that precept hand, man. You see that? Precept upon precept. Excellent precept. You see what I'm saying? You can be brought up from a low state. Where's the dust? On the ground. You're in a low condition. The Lord can bring you up, man. When I say bring you up, I mean wake you up to what? These laws, statutes, and commandments. Well, we got more scriptures. That was hey, could you read that one more time, Baba Kashab?
Yeah.
We'll read this one right here for the ones in the back.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
You see that? Who is that of them that sleep in the dust that's going to be awakened in these last days? That's what the book of Revelations means, to reveal. Guess what? It's been revealed to us, the mysteries that was in this Bible the whole time.
Wow.
You see? We're going to start from verse 7 again in Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7. Excellent precept, Ottawa. Y'all write these precepts down, man. Go ahead.
Genesis 2, verse 7. And the Most High power formed man of the dust of the ground.
You see that? The Most High formed man of the dust of the ground. He took them from a low state. Why? So they can live, man. So they can become alive. Like in Daniel just said. Keep reading.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
Now, Christians think this part mean after he took that dirt and formed a man, so they think that he went like this. And they just start breathing in their nose. He looked up in their little noses and said, and breathed in some air in their nostrils. Of course, that is not what they're saying. Well, okay. And matter of fact, let me see. Let's go. We're going to pause right there. Hold your finger right there. Let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. We're going to see what that breath of life he breathed into him right quick. Like you brought out that precept in Daniel. Let's see what this breath of life he breathed into their nostrils. Okay? In the UPK, man, listen, man, we study to show ourselves approved. Well, we understand these scriptures. Meaning, we know what these scriptures are saying, man. You know what I mean? The scriptures say to he who have an ear to hear. What do that hear mean? To understand these scriptures. We're about to give you clear understanding of what that breath of life was he breathed into Adam's nostril. You got that out of one. It's in the Apocrypha Salaki.
God. It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1.
Salaki, let me get there with you. Yeah. I'm doing all this yapping. Let me get there with you. You know, I hit you with a few sidebars every now and again. You know, we in the book of Baruch. We're gonna see what this breath of life is, man. That the Most High breathed into Adam's nostrils. Now, y'all ain't never heard this before. Okay, Ottawa, you got it.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High and the law that endure forever. All they that keep it shall come to light.
Oh. Go back. We got to slow it down. We got to slow that down. I heard you about to say it. You said all of them that keep it shall come to life. That sound familiar? That sound familiar to when the Most High breathed in him the breath of life? Read it from the top, nice and slow. Baba Kashab.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High.
The book of the commandments of the Most High. Not the Quran. Not the book of Jasher. Not the 48 laws of power. Not reading the potter's house. Keep reading.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
Hold on. We got to go back to N.W.O.
Salaki. And the law that endure forever.
That endure what?
Endure forever.
I thought the law was done away with. The law endured forever, man. Keep reading.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
All they that keep it shall what?
Come to life.
You see that? This is the breath of life that the Most High breathed into Adam's nostrils, man. In other words, to make a long story short, he gave Adam law, statutes, and commandments. He gave him the truth. You see? That's the breath of life that he breathed into. And there's more precepts on this, but this is the one I brought out for this one. You know what I mean? So the commandments, that's what's going to give you life.
Wow.
You just said it. You know what I mean? So he taught Adam laws, statutes, and commandments. How did he do that? Constellations, man. The Most High, Adam was reading constellations in the stars, man. He wasn't no stargazer or nothing like, a witch or enchanter or nothing like that. He wasn't worshiping the goddamn moon and the elements, but he was taking what the Most High was giving him and writing them down. And those things that he wrote down, we're reading right now. It's called the Bible. You understand? Now let's go back to Genesis 2 and 7.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 7. And the Most High power formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul.
And he became a living soul after he breathed into him laws, statutes, and commandments, because without these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're dead.
Wow. You
living, but you're spiritually dead. So that's what that scripture means when they say, what do it profit a man I'm paraphrasing. What would it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Because you're living, you're alive, but you're spiritually dead. So that money is not going to profit you none. You see? That big house, that's what you would call, the world would call success. The Bible don't call that success at all. You see? Success is serving the Most High and keeping his commandments.
Wow. And
I got scriptures on that. It's going to get deeper. You understand? It's going to get real, real deeper. All right. And listen, Adam was living lawless. Adam was living lawless. He was living like every other man on the earth. You know what I mean? And we're about to get into that because a lot of people think Adam and Eve was the first two people on the earth, and that's just not true. And we're going to get into that in a minute. Keep reading.
Verse 8. And the Most High power planted a garden eastward in Eden.
And he did what?
Planted a garden eastward in Eden.
The Most High planted a garden eastward in Eden. You want to know what that garden is? Israel. Yasha Allah in the Hebrew. Our homeland, Jerusalem. That's eastward. You understand? That's our homeland. Africa is not the motherland of nothing.
Wow.
You understand? It's full of a bunch of dumb MFers, excuse my language, but it's not the mother of us. You understand? We come from Israel. It say eastward in Eden. Eastward in the earth. Where is that? Israel. That's why they call it the Middle East. That's where we come from. We don't come from no Africa, man. Let Africans have their land, man. Let other nations have their land. What about our land, man? Okay. Keep reading.
And there he put the man whom he had formed.
And then he put Adam there, man. He put Adam in Israel. You see what I'm saying? That's where he put Adam them at, man, in our homeland. And then them same people that he put in Israel is the same people that got us kicked to hell out. Why? Because they wanted to live like the other nations. But we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. From there, Baba Kashah, let's drop down to verse 15.
Lock it. Shabbat. Y'all, you want that precept? Jerusalem is the mother of us all.
Let's get it. Baba Kashah, the water. I was just thinking about it too. I was like, damn, why ain't I put that in my notes? But excellent, sir. Baba Kashah, if you would.
Most High Christ. It's the book of Galatians, chapter 4, and verse 26. But Jerusalem,
But who?
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Which is the what?
The mother of us all.
The Bible said Jerusalem is the mother of us all. So why are y'all calling Africa the motherland? Yeah. Like Captain Tazariak said, Africa, only thing that Africa is the mother of is flies.
Wow.
You understand? Flies flying all over your head. Little Ethiopian big cranium, you see? Big pot belly, walking around with a big pot belly with flies all over your head. That ain't my homeland, man.
Wow.
We from Jerusalem.
That's right.
Could you read it from the top one more time?
It's the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Look at that, man. You see that? Excellent precept, man. Give Officer Kayada War a hand, man, for that excellent precept he brought out. Man, that's why, hey, that's bad. Listen, man, I love my brothers in this UPK, man. I get thick-headed and hard-headed sometimes, man. And trust me, they check the shit out of me. But it's needed. Excuse my language, you know what I'm saying? But it's needed, though, you know what I mean? And I understand that, man. You know, I appreciate my brothers for that, man. They teach me precepts like this, not just to go, you know, so I can sound all excellent, you know what I mean, and act like I'm so smart, and so we can live these scriptures, man. You know what I mean? They really want us to be the best we can be. You know how the army, they say, be all you can be? Man, damn being all you can be, man. You come into this truth, man, and obey the Most High, man.
That's
you
right.
Understand? All right, let's drop down to verse 15 in Genesis. Genesis chapter 2, and we're going to drop down to verse 15, Baba Kashah.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 2, and verse 15. And the Most High Power took the man.
And the Most High Power took the man. Who was that man? Adam. He put him in Israel, eastward in Eden, man, which is Israel. Keep reading.
And put him into the Garden of Eden.
You see that? Put him into the Garden of Eden. The Bible calls our homeland the garden, man. That's what the Garden of Eden is, Israel. Why you think all them wars going on over there? And that land ain't never been at peace. It's because the original inhabitants, which is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they stole our land and our identity. And the Most High is not going to let them be at peace. You see? That's their name, the Palestinians, over there fighting the Israelis. But over there fighting over a land that belongs to who? Israel.
Well,
keep reading.
And the Most High Power took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
To dress it and to keep it, meaning what? To farm it, man. He taught him how to be a farmer, man. In case y'all didn't know, we was the best farmers on the planet, man. And if you don't know, we still are. You better ask the Mexicans and the Venezuelans. You understand? Guatemalans. Over there picking all that. Man, we proved that when we picked all the goddamn cotton. Oh, y'all thought we just picked it? We planted it too.
Wow.
We planted the sugar cane and picked it. You see? Them Haitians, man. Them Levi's and them Benjamites, man. Dominicans, man. The sugar cane and all that, man. You see? That's what it means when it says to dress it and to keep it. So we was over there in Israel, man, farming, you know what I mean? Because again, we was a lawless people at first. We would eat anything. But the Lord showed us what we could and cannot eat. So what we would do, man, we would grow food, man. We would eat lawful foods, man. You see? You know what that's called, what they call it today? We was a civilized people. There go the first civilization right there. Right before your eyes. And what they say? When they took the land from the native Indians, talking about we had to make them civilized. Well, we had civilization right here, man. It just said it.
Right.
You placed Adam in the garden, man. Then it said Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. That's civilization, brother. That's civilization, sister. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Verse 15, and the Most High Power took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
That's talking about Adam. You know what I mean? You're teaching them wisdom and knowledge. You know what I mean? How to farm land, how to herd the goats and the sheep. You see? Keep reading.
Verse 16, and the Most High Power commanded the man.
And he what the man?
Commanded the man.
I know that didn't just say commanded the man. You know what that means, don't you? There's another commandment. Christians, why we ain't never seen this? Y'all got some explaining to do. There's another commandment right there, man. Keep reading.
Saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat.
Now, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Do anybody know what that means? Do anybody know what that means? I'll give y'all a second, man. I'm gonna be kind of interactive a little bit. I gotta start back. I gotta stop talking so much and start interacting with the class, man. Do anybody know what that scripture right there means when it say the Most High commanded them, saying, "Of every tree of the garden thou mayest eat freely, thou mayest freely eat." Do anybody know what that said? For time's sake, you know what I mean? The Most High, he told us what was lawful. You know what I mean? He told us, he gave us culture. He gave us the to-dos and the not to-dos. You know what I mean? You can learn about this right here. But it states other things that I did not teach you, so I do not want you to learn about it. And it's going to go into detail a little bit more. Keep reading.
Verse 17, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Uh-oh. We getting somewhere. Because he said we can eat these things over here. And when it say eat, of course, it's not talking about no apple. It ain't literal. They wasn't walking around with no neck. They wasn't eating no apple, man. You know what I mean? You ever heard somebody say, man, that's hard to digest right there. Or digest information? You ever read the Reader's Digest? You see? It ain't talking about literal food, man. You can eat freely of this, meaning these things I taught you, I want you to know about these things because I'm teaching you these things. But could you read that one again, that 17?
But of the tree of the knowledge.
Slow down. Go ahead.
But of the tree of the knowledge. But of the tree.
See, I'm talking about that but part. Anytime you see but at the beginning of 17, it say but. That means something great changed, ain't it? I want you can eat freely of these trees. You know what I mean? All of them you may eat freely. But that's why I told you right there, you know what I mean? I'm Salaki for, keep stopping you, but that's very important that we see that but. Yeah. Anytime you see buts and periods and commas and semicolons, you had better stop and get some understanding of what's going on. Because something about to be said, something about to change. Keep reading.
But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Keep reading, Baba Kishah.
Thou shalt not eat of it.
Thou shalt not eat of it, man. Meaning the knowledge, it's certain things that he wanted you to know. And there's certain things that he did not want you to know. Like the book of Enoch, the book of Jasher. He didn't tell you to eat of the book of the Quran, or Ma'at, or Kemet. He didn't tell you to eat of that knowledge. When you're eating something, you're eating knowledge, man. But it's certain type of knowledge that he did not want us to eat. In other words, he did not want us to know. What's the root word of knowledge? Know. Certain things he did want us to know, and he did not want us to have knowledge of or to know. Keep reading.
But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it.
Mm-hmm.
For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Now, where does it say this in the Quran? When they tell you if you learn other cultures' philosophy, you're going to die. Clearly, we didn't read this because it's a lot of Negroes that's in Islam. Had they read this right here, they'll see that was the end thereof was death, man. Keep reading, Bob Kashal.
Verse 18. And the Most High Power said, it is not good that the man should be alone.
Okay, we can go ahead. Okay, yeah, we can drop that right there. We can drop that, but it was other things that the Most High didn't want us to know, man. He didn't want us to know the evil of picking cotton.
Right.
He didn't want us to know the evil of slavery, man. You see? The Most High didn't want us to have that type of knowledge. He didn't want us to know, how to stand on the corner all day and pitch and sell a brick.
Right.
He didn't want us to know about Crips and Bloods and Nietes and Vice Lords and Gangster Disciples. You see? He didn't want our sisters to know about fans only. This is the knowledge of good and evil that he did not want us to know. He didn't want you to know how to shake your behind on Facebook and dress like some whore.
Right.
All right? He didn't want us to know, about how to be the last hired and the first fired. He didn't want us to know that. You see what I'm saying? If you could, Baba Kashal, drop down to verse 25.
Verse 25. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
Now, the Christian church and all the illustrations throughout history have you believe you see two little naked booties running, eating an apple, and they done plucked off a tree, they naked. Of course, this is not what that means. We're about to break it down to you right now of what it actually means. You know what I mean? Because they were not naked. You see what I'm saying? You know what this means? They were both naked. Man, the Most High gave them a culture, man. But they took off their culture. We over here in America, we naked, man. Because we know not who we are. We've taken off our culture and we put on Christmas. We put on Valentine's Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day,
Right.
Labor Day. What the hell is that? We the biggest slaves on the planet. Labor Day.
Right.
We've been slaving for you a whole lot of damn days. You see? But that does not mean that they were naked literally. It means they took off their culture. And everybody know when you're naked, you got to put on something, don't you? That's what we did. We put on the culture of the other. Keep reading. It's going to go more into it, Baba Kashal.
Chapter 3.
Oh, okay. Khan, yeah, let's get, we're going to go to Genesis chapter 3, and we're going to read 1 through 7.
Yeah. It's Salaki, Shabbat Yahweh.
I got some more to say on that too before we get that on Genesis 2 and 25. But go ahead, Baba Kashal.
I don't know if you're gonna say the same thing I'm about to say. I was gonna say it shows who wrote these words down. Because we the only people that talk like this. We talk like that. We talk like that now. Like if you don't got a watch on, you be like, I feel naked without my watch.
Come on, priest.
You go.
Come on, priest.
Growing up in the city without a weapon, might be like, I feel naked out here.
Well, you out here naked, ain't you?
That's how we talk. That's how we always talk.
Don't get caught out here slipping naked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a powerful point right there.
And we the only, if I may, we the only ones that understand that talk. Like no
We
other
understand
nation,
it too.
yeah, no other nation gonna understand that. Only
What's
we
the proof of that? The proof of it is that picture of a white Adam and Eve standing there naked eating a doggone apple. As if that's what this means.
Exactly.
You see? You want to know what that's called? It's called Roman Catholicism.
Right.
AKA Caucasian supremacy.
Right.
AKA the devil that the Bible speaks of, because devil means liar and deceiver. Right. They deceived us, having us thinking that that's what this means when it's not talking about that. You see? You got niggas walking around with Chinese tattoos and don't even know what the hell it means. You done took off your culture, but you got on a big ass Chinese tattoo and don't know what the hell it say. Wow. That thing can say F you, stupid nigger. You see what I'm saying? You tatted up though. You tatted up, ain't it? Man, listen, you got Christian pastors out here wearing Roman robes, Pope robes, and they think they sharp. Well, I be seeing them. They think they sharp. Don't you know that is Roman? You know who the Romans are? Those are the same people who killed Christ, dummy. Right. And you walking around with a doggone Roman robe on. And then why? I can't. Please help me figure this out for me. What's up with the black robe with the little white thing in the middle? What the hell is that? Please show me that in the scriptures. They have on a little black thing, but right across the thing, the neck part right here is white. What in the hell is that? You're naked out here, man. What? You're naked. You done took off your culture, your glorious garments, and then put on, you know, the other dashiki. African dashiki. Here we is, Israelites, dressing like we Africans. You see? But yeah, that's what I wanted to bring out more on that, with that naked part on Genesis 2 and 25, man. Because they wasn't literally naked. They just simply means they took off their culture and put on culture of other nations. You know what I mean? But we're going to go a little bit more into it. But right now, we're going to go to Genesis 3, 1 through 7.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Most High Power had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
Now, you know we're about to go back and break that all the way down. We're about to break that nice and down. You know what I'm saying? Baba can shout one more time from the top.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Now, I'm about to tell y'all who that serpent is, because he was more subtle than any beast of the field. You understand? And if you don't know that this is talking about nations of people, you just learned it. A lot of times in the Bible refers to us as animals. That's why Christ said, I'm not sent but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Wow.
You see? But this beast right here, he was a beast, predatorial. You see what I'm saying? He was more subtle than any beast of the field, meaning any other nation of people that's on the earth. He was more subtle, he was more slick. You see? He was deceptive. You see? Okay, and to be more frank with you, the Caucasian is the serpent. The Caucasian race is the serpent. That's the most subtle beast of the field. Who runs the earth? The so-called Caucasians. How did they get it? By being the most subtle beast of the field. They raped, they robbed, they murdered, they lied, they stole. You see? That's how they gained rulership over the earth. You know what I mean? But the Most High gave it to them though, because we broke God's laws. We wanted to take off our culture because he told us not to eat from this tree of good. He told us not to eat. We can eat of these trees right here, but we cannot eat from this tree. Eating from the knowledge of good and evil is learning to be like the other nations that's on the planet. That's what you're doing, man. That's what we've done, man. That's why we in hell right now here in America.
Wow.
We did that, man. Keep reading.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Most High Power had made.
You see that? The Most High made him the most subtle beast of the field. So if he made them to be a vessel of dishonor, we were supposed to be that vessel of honor. You see? We were supposed to serve the Lord, man. And all the other nations follow us because the Lord made us over all the other nations on the planet because he gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to be a better people, man, than anybody else, man. That's all throughout the book of Deuteronomy, man. You're not going to find that in the Quran. You see? The Quran don't tell you who's the more deceptive race of people on the planet. The Bible does. It just did. And it's going to go into more detail. Keep going.
And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath the Most High Power said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
You see that? Now, don't that sound like the Caucasian? Don't that sound like the Caucasian saying, "Oh, you really not gonna eat that pork?" Don't that sound like they call it the white? They call it the other white meat, don't they? You really not gonna eat them crab legs because that Bible say so? Man, bump that. God told y'all not to. It gotta have fins and scales. But bump that, man. These crab legs. Don't that sound like the serpent? They call it delicacies when God called it an abomination to eat, man. You see? That sounds like a serpent that beguiled Eve.
Right.
And she's still being beguiled to this very day.
Right.
You see? He'll buy you all kind of, give you all kind of trinkets. Big old birthday balloons. You holding, I see it all the time on Facebook. They holding up 2 big old balloons like a goddamn child, man. This serpent knows how to make us, and here's the thing. He knows that us being disobedient to the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High will not fight for us, man. So what he got to do? He got to do things that's contrary to the scriptures, man. He got to be subtle. He got to be the most subtle beast of the field. Now, let me blow your mind right quick, because that's saying that he's the most subtle beast of the field. Guess what the mark of the beast is? Guess who the beast is in the mark of the beast? Uh-oh. This gonna step on some toes. That's your beast right there. The Caucasian, man. That's the beast. This how you know it's black people wrote this. Again, what we say when we driving. You trying to dodge the beast.
Right.
You know what I mean? The police, in other words.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The beast get behind you. You see? Keep reading.
Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 3. But of
Hold on. Let's go back to 2 right quick. Can you read that again, Baba Kashai?
Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
Now, she knew the truth. Because God, the Most High, gave Adam and Eve the truth. He gave the truth to Adam. Adam taught it to his wife. So she knew that she was supposed to obey the things that God told us we could and cannot do. The things we could eat and cannot eat. How she was supposed to dress. You see? How she was not supposed to be like the other nations that surrounded Israel. You see? Keep reading.
Verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
You see that? So we knew the truth. We knew we had laws, statutes, and commandments to keep, or we knew that we would be put to death if we didn't keep the law. So why in the hell are you learning in other books, you know what I'm saying, all these little daily bread pamphlets, how not to keep the law, man? You trying to learn out of books that don't mean nothing. When in this book, the Bible, it tells you how to live.
Wow.
We just read in the other book where it say, What's life? When the Most High breathed the breath of life into Adam's nostrils, man. The law, statutes, and commandments. That's life. You see? Keep reading.
Verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die.
You see that? What did the Caucasian say to the black woman?
Ye shall not surely die.
What did the African say to the black woman?
Ye shall not surely die.
You see that? You shall not surely die. It's telling you to do what's contrary to what the Bible says, man. They gave you child support. You shall not surely die. You see? And what you did, you partook of that knowledge. That child support ain't God didn't tell you to take out child support. But you ate of that knowledge from who? Another nation of people. A serpent, a forked tongue, a pitchfork tongue. That was the native Indians called the Caucasian. They knew he was the devil. He speak with like just like a serpent, a snake. You see? Ye shall not surely die. They tell you can eat pork, man. They tell you and lock you up and give you 20 to life for selling weed and then legalize it. What kind of beast? That's a beast out. You see? They open up all kind of dispensaries knowing that it's against the Most High for us to smoke. What they do, they got it in. You can go to a corner store and you can get it off the ice cream truck now. That's evil, man. Keep reading.
Verse 5. For the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open.
You see that? The day you eat thereof, your eyes shall be open. Keep reading.
And ye shall be as gods.
You see that, man? Keep going.
Knowing good and evil.
Man, listen to that, man. Don't that sound like the Caucasian? Sound just like it. You really gonna let your man tell you how to dress?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? That serpent done got in her head, man. Done got an Eve head. Still to this day. You know what I mean? Tell you can read other books, man. And these other books are nonsense, man.
well.
When they say eyes open, meaning they was ashamed. See what I'm saying? They seen their shame. Read that again from the top, Pasha.
Verse 5. For the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open.
See, your eyes shall be open, meaning they knew they couldn't do this thing, but they did it anyway, so they were ashamed. Their eyes is open, and they were ashamed. Keep going.
And ye shall be as gods.
You see that? Won't the Caucasian man give you a high position, you know what I mean, in your job over your man so you can kick him to hell out? So he won't have his God-given authority over you. Now your kids grow up drug dealers and your daughter's whore sliding down a stripper pole. I'm gonna make you as gods. What do women call themselves now? Goddesses. They talking about they goddess and queens. You ain't no damn queen. You ain't no goddess. You understand? You so much of a goddess, then why listen, why you won't give us our land back, Miss Goddess? Why did your mama die of cancer, Goddess? You couldn't have touched it and healed that? High blood pressure and diabetes, we number one. We number one in everything. But you're a goddess, right? Fix that, Goddess, come on. You see? But you've been beguiled by the serpent, man.
Right.
Keep reading.
It's Salaki, Shabbat Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
If I could add to what you're saying is so right. What you're bringing out is so heavy. The personality of that serpent so slick, right? Mm-hmm. That even still to this day, a lot of our brothers unfortunately take on that same, quality and characteristic of the serpent. When they call our sisters goddesses and queens and all that, all they really doing is seducing our sisters. You know what I mean?
Right. In other words, they have no game. They don't have any game because they got to use this to, and these likes on Facebook.
Right.
They know that, they get on there and like all their pictures, and they see, oh my God,
Yeah. Yeah.
he loved my picture. He called me pretty. Let me give him some. Listen, man, you've been beguiled in this place. You're not a goddess. Or do you forget when the serpent, right here, what we're reading about, the serpent beguiled Eve and told her she'll be like a god. A goddess, isn't it something like a god? He told you you'll be like gods, man. That's where you get your whole little goddess and all your little bull. It comes from the Caucasian, the serpent.
Well,
Your Greek mythology, all that bull crap, man. Queen, the word queen, that comes from other nations of people. We didn't have no queens in Israel. You understand? Keep reading.
verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise.
You see that? You see that? The tree to be desired to make one wise. That sound like them other books that they be reading, try to get wise off other books. They won't read the Bible to get no wisdom, but they'll go off and, become great in this field. Well, I'm not saying nothing wrong with that, but that's not your wisdom. You see? Brothers as well. We want to go and fight in their military, man. We want to go learn this and learn that. That's not our wisdom. Keep going.
And the tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof, and
Took
did
of the fruit thereof, meaning she was eating the knowledge of the other nations. She was eating the knowledge of what God told her not to do off the top, off the rip. God didn't teach you how to do that. Why is you doing that? Keep going.
and gave also unto her husband with her.
You see that? And she gave it to her husband. Now he knew better.
Well,
Keep going.
and he did eat.
See that? That's what happened when you let your woman run your household.
Well,
In the UPK, we're taught to be dominant. We taught toxic masculinity.
That's
Get
right.
a Lord a hand for toxic
right.
masculinity. You understand? Listen, man, ain't no woman gonna come in my house and run nothing, not even her mouth. You know what I mean? You gonna shut your damn mouth. You know what I mean? You don't let no woman run you, man. You see how Eve ran after Adam, man, he knew the truth, man. Eve knew the truth. And he let a woman make him disobey the Most High. You see what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, women have that power, man. This scripture's about how powerful a woman is, man. They possess something that's very powerful. You understand? I pray y'all understand. In the UPK, we call it the matrix. You see what I'm saying? But you can't let that matrix run you.
well,
You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? All right, keep going.
verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open.
And the eyes of them both were open. They both was ashamed. Keep going.
And they knew that they were naked.
See that? They knew that they were naked at that point. They was very ashamed. They knew that God told them not to do the thing that they did. So they was ashamed behind that. You ever did something vile and disgusting and feel the shame straightway right after you do it? You're like, damn, I should have done this shit. See what I'm saying? That's that naked. Their eyes were open and they knew they were naked. They wasn't literally naked. They were ashamed. They knew that they took off their culture and put on another culture of another nation, which God forbade us to do. Keep reading.
And they sewed fig leaves together.
Now, the Christian church will have you to think when they say they sewed fig leaves together, that it's an illustration when Eve got leaves on her nipples. You know what I'm saying? And Adam, I guess, so you telling me that Adam and Eve wore the first thongs. I mean, every illustration, Adam got on a little leaf on his private part, which that's a lie because black people Salaki what I'm about to say. But if a leaf cover up your private part, I mean, you might need to pray to the Lord out. And you know, pray that he give you strength in that area. Good night. Because ain't no leaf about to cover up mine. Salaki. I'm gonna get up off of it. But that's a lie. When they say they sold the fig leaves together, man, they were putting on the culture of the other nations, man. That's what that means as well. They was putting on their doctrines and their philosophies. They were not getting their wisdom out of this book called the Bible. They was getting their wisdom from Egypt and Ethiopia and Babylon and Greece and Persia and Rome, and we getting our wisdom from America now. They hate our guts, and we sitting here, we think learning in their universities that's pleasing, you know, to the Most High. Now again, because we still slaves, we got to go get their little degrees and make good grades. I'm not telling you not to. By all means, go get that. You're a slave. We got to make money, to get jobs. But don't think that's your wisdom. Don't think, because the book of the Bible is our wisdom.
Well,
There's your wisdom right there. Keep reading.
Salaki. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
And they made themselves aprons. Imagine that. You see what I'm saying? Now, you get again, you see paintings all over the place, man. They got leaves on. When that just don't mean nothing, but they put on the culture of other nations. When you're naked, I said it earlier, you got to put something on, don't you? Well, they put on the culture of the other nations. That's what that means. Okay, we're gonna drop that, man. Let's go to
Salaki Shabbat, I don't know if you all want the precept to prove that the other trees in the garden were other nations.
You know I do. You know I do carry out a war.
Most High Christ at
Hit me with it.
the book of Ezekiel, chapter 31, and verse 8 and 9.
Ooh, yeah, that's one of my favorite Jones right here. Go ahead.
Verse 8, the cedars in the garden of the Most High could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of the Most High was like unto him in his beauty.
You see that? Go ahead. I mean, you see that what that's saying right there? Even the trees and the branches and the leaves have specific meanings. It ain't literal trees. See what I'm saying? When you read in the Genesis about trees and branches and leaves, it is not literal. That's talking about nations, other nations' cultures, our culture. They just say we was beautiful. At the end of that one, keep going.
Verse 9, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches.
You see that? I made him fair by the multitude of his branches. Fair means beautiful. You see what I'm saying? By the multitude of his branches. Meaning, us and our kids, our offspring, are beautiful people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Keep going.
And Salakia too, Shabbat, like we say today, like a family tree.
Family tree. You see? That goes to show it ain't literal right there. Yeah. We got a family tree. You see? That means in our family, we literally, everybody set up a tree. You know what I'm saying? I guess on the holidays, we all just go celebrate at that tree. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's talking about people. Go ahead.
So that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of the Most High envied him.
Good night. All the other trees envied us, man. This tree right here, it was so beautiful and fair. That is the nation of Israel. All the other nations envy us, man. They want them lips you got, sister. Them hips you got, sister. You understand? They want to be able to cut a backward flip in midair and slam dunk a basketball like you, brother. Which is why they pay you to see you do it. Like they did in Rome. That's where Colosseums come from. They pay to see you because you're so beautiful and great. That's why they give you so much money, because our music, our culture is beautiful, man.
Well,
keep going.
Yeah. Verse 10, therefore thus saith the Most High Power, because thou hast lifted up thyself in height and he hath shot up his top among the thick boughs, and his heart is lifted up in his height. Verse 11, I have therefore delivered him into the hand of the mighty one of the heathen.
Okay, you can drop that. You already brought out the point about about, you know what I mean, the branches and the leaves and the trees. But basically, that's precept to what we was bringing out right here in Genesis. You know what I mean? 3:1-7.
So
Because it was talking about the trees and the leaves and the branches. Go ahead.
Salaki, just prove that those fig leaves were not actual leaves. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, right.
Other cultures.
Cultures of the other nations. You see, they put, in other words, they were naked. They took off our culture, which is God's law, statutes, and commandments, and put on the cultures of the different nations that surrounded them, just like we have done. I gave an example earlier. Don't Chinese people surround us? Why do we got a Chinese tattoo? The Caucasian and the Pope, they surround us. Why we wearing those little things and they look in the pulpit? You see? Why does our women wear blonde hair?
What?
Because we want to dress ourselves in the fig leaves of the other nations in their culture. We want to be just like them. You see? We want to smoke their cigarettes. You see? We want to be just like them, and God hates that. Wow. Keep going. We're going to drop that. Let's go to 1 John 4, chapter 4, verse 1. 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. We're going to get some more on this. You know what I mean? Again, Israel, you know I say it every class. Write these scriptures down. You're getting perfect and clear understanding today. You know what I mean? Like, share, subscribe, man. You got any questions, ask them. We don't run from questions. Christian church, you ask a question, what they say? Don't question God. I ain't question God. I question you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got questions, man. Ask us them questions, man. We got you, man. But right now we're in the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 1.
It's the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit.
Do what?
Believe not every spirit.
Believe not every spirit, man. We out here believing in the Christmas spirit. Right. With the eggnog and the ugly sweaters. You see? We out here in the Thanksgiving spirit, in the birthday spirit. Show me any of these spirits in the Bible. See? You're in the spirit of an Arab when you be a Muslim. You're in the spirit of a Caucasian when you be a Christian. You understand? Christ ain't no Caucasian man. Right. Christ was a black man. So you in a whole different spirit if you sit there and lie to yourself and say color don't matter. When Christ was a black man, if the Bible says he black and you say color don't matter, you're antichrist. You're not for Christ, you're anti-Christ. Keep going.
Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the Most High.
How do you try the spirits and see if they are of the Most High? You see if it's in here. The Quran ain't in here. The Book of the Dead ain't in here. Being in Kemet and Pan-Africanism ain't in here. I do see in here where it tells me to love my brother like myself. My brother. You see? Not the other nations. Keep reading.
But try the spirits whether they are of the Most High. Mm-hmm. Because many false prophets are going
out. Many what?
Because many false prophets are going out into the world.
It's many false prophets that have gone out into the world. Louis Farrakhan.
Well,
Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all false prophets. Eddie Long, T.D. Jakes, T.D. Snakes, Death Yo Dollar, your uncle and your auntie in that Christian pastor, that Christian church on every corner. Many false prophets.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 2. Hereby know ye the Spirit of the Most High.
Hereby what?
Hereby know ye the Spirit of the Most High.
Now, how do you hereby know ye the Spirit of the Most High? You keep his laws, statutes, and commandments that's plastered all throughout this Bible.
Right.
Keep going.
Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh of the Most High.
Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God. Well, guess what? Christians, they confess with their mouth. You know what I'm saying? They confess and say, Christ, he came in the flesh. Do that mean they of God? No, because they turn around, they'll say, with that same mouth, they'll turn around and have pork juice sliding down the side of their mouth. That's a sin.
Right.
So just because you know the truth means nothing. And they don't know the truth, by the way.
That's
Keep
right.
reading.
Verse 3. And every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of the Most High.
So every Quran you read, every Buddhism, Rastafarianism, Muslim, anything contrary to this Bible is, they're not of God. If they say Christ was white, they say the little angels was naked, little babies riding around shooting Cupid, you know that's not of God because that's not in the Bible.
Right.
Read.
Salak. And this is that spirit of Antichrist.
You see that? This is that spirit of Antichrist. If you not doing what this Bible say do, you are the Antichrist. Keep reading.
Whereof ye have heard that it should come.
Now everybody heard it should come, but watch this. Keep going.
And even now already is it in the world.
You see that? The Antichrist been here. The Antichrist has been here. The Christian church would like you to believe that we're waiting on one man to come and he's about to bring anarchy and he's about to, bring a whole lot of death and destruction when it's already a man out here that's been doing that called the Caucasian race. You understand? When they teach you lies and they give you different books and theologies, you go to theologian school to learn absolutely nothing. We've been in the Christian church all our life and learned nothing but a song and a dance. Come on, man. When back in the Bible, only time we sung and danced is when we had victory in battle over our enemies.
Right.
That's the only time we sung and danced. You see? Or we was partying, like at the Passover. You see what I'm saying? Our high holy days. But you go to that Christian church, that's all you learn how to do, man. All right, you can drop that, brother. Let's go to Deuteronomy 13:1. Baba Kishah. Get some more on this. Deuteronomy 13:1. Again, you got any questions, type them in. We got you. The water to everybody for tuning in as well.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13 and verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet,
Go ahead. I'm going to let you read the whole thing, then I'm going to go back up and break it down.
God, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13, verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder.
You see that? If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, you know what that sound like? Martin Luther King. And giveth thee a sign or a wonder, that's a prophet's job, to tell you the future of something that's about to come to pass. That's a job That's the job of a prophet, to warn the people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To obey the Most High.
That's right.
Or this is going to happen. Keep going.
Verse 2. And the sign or the wonder come to pass.
You see that? And the sign or the wonder come to pass, meaning they told you the future and it came to pass, like the Bible been doing, full of prophecies that's been coming to pass. Keep reading.
Whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods.
You see that? This is how you know a false prophet. Let us go after other gods in other books, like the Quran, like the Maranatha, like the 48 laws of power, like this and that, all that garbage. If it ain't the Bible, it's trash. Read.
Which thou hast not known, and let us serve them.
You see that? We ain't knew these other gods. Them gods is not in this Bible, man. It warned us about false gods in this Bible. But what we do, we went and done it anyway. You have no clue that you're worshiping a false god when you celebrate Christmas, man.
Right.
When you celebrate Easter, you're worshiping a false god, a fertility god, which is where the egg come from. If you properly translate the word Easter, it's Passover in Hebrew. So you're supposed to be celebrating the Passover. You see? But you're unknowingly worshiping a false god. Keep going.
Verse 3. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet.
Thou shalt not what?
Hearken unto the words of that prophet.
You ain't supposed to listen to a damn thing he say or she say. Your mama talking about your aunties and your mamas and your daddies out there talking about they prophets. But you ain't never seen none of these scriptures in the Bible. They are false prophets, man.
That's right.
You see that? Thou shalt not hearken, meaning hearken means listen. Thou shalt not listen to them false prophets. You see? Keep going.
Or that dreamer of dreams.
Or that dreamer of dreams. I had a dream that little black hands can hold hands with little white hands. Show me that in the scripture. That dreamer of dreams he's a false prophet. That's what Dr. Martin Luther King was. Keep going.
For the Most High your power proveth you.
God proved to Martin Luther King he was a false prophet. Made sure he got a bullet. You see? Now, I don't take no glory in that brother's death. May he rise again. But that's what happened when you disobey the Most High and teach men so. When you believe in other doctrines and other books and other philosophies of the other nations, trying to join hand in hand with these heathens, man. Read.
To know whether ye love the Most High your power with all your heart and with all your soul.
Keep going.
Verse 4. Ye shall walk after the Most High your power and fear him.
And what?
And fear him.
You shall walk after the Most High and fear him, man. How do you fear the Most High? You obey him. You obey his laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Keep reading.
And keep his commandments.
You see that? Look, it's saying it for me. Keep going.
And obey his voice.
Now, how do you obey his voice? You read this book. This Bible is the voice of the Lord.
Right.
Again, you say it all the time. We're going to get the word. Well, here's a word right here. The Bible is the only book of God. Right. You understand? Keep reading.
And ye shall serve him and cleave unto him.
That's right. You understand? Keep going.
And that prophet, verse 5, and that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death.
You see that? But Dr. Martin Luther King, that prophet and that dreamer of dreams, you see what they did to Malcolm X? You understand? Y'all starting to get the point now? You can go ahead and drop that, brother. Let's go to Colossians.
Salaki, Shabbat, if I could, I got a precept for you.
Go ahead.
Right, talking about what you touching on tonight, right? The topic tonight, right? How we should the Salaki. That the Bible, there is no other God in any other book. right? Deuteronomy 7:5 say what? But thus shall ye deal with them, meaning all these other nations or all these other books or
Right.
beliefs, right? Ye shall destroy their altars
That's
and
right.
break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. Just
That's
like
right.
how we were playing Shabbat Allah ain't nothing but some good what's the fireplace
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, burn a nice warm fire with it.
Hey, or some toilet paper. The
Yeah,
other books is good toilet paper.
yeah,
The Quran is toilet paper. And like my brother said, it kindles good wood. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It'll start a fire to kindle that wood. You know what I mean? In other words, it's garbage. Throw it to hell away.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Colossians 2:8. Excellent precept too, Bob. Adawan.
Mosai.
Excellent precept. You've been hitting them on the head tonight, Adawan.
Yeah.
Well, that's always, 579. Let's get some more on this. The book of Colossians 2:8.
Yeah, it's the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest
Do
any
what?
man
Do what?
beware,
Do what?
beware.
Beware means be aware. Now, hey, Adawan, I'm gonna go ahead and just start breaking them down off top. I'm about to shoot them down
Yeah.
for time's sake. But it say beware, meaning be aware. Go ahead.
Lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
And spoil. You know what spoil means? Spoil. You ever seen like you go in your refrigerator and might have some spoiled milk. You might have some spoiled meat. You're not about to cook that spoiled meat. You're gonna throw it away. You ain't gonna drink something that got mold in it. It's spoiled. So don't let no man ruin you, rob you, or give you something that's unhealthy through their philosophy, meaning their doctrine. If it ain't coming out the Bible, it's a goddamn lie.
Well,
Keep going.
in vain deceit.
And what?
Vain deceit.
Vain deceit. Vain means nothing. Deceit means lie. You see? So those lies that they telling you mean absolutely nothing. Talking about Jesus is the reason for the season means nothing. That's a lie. You see? Keep going.
After the tradition of men.
After the tradition of men. Santa Claus, Saint Nick, white Jesus. You see? Thanksgiving, New Year's. All these are traditions of men because ain't none of them in the Bible. Read.
Well, after the rudiments of the word. And not after Christ.
And not after Christ. So when you celebrate these things, man, you following the traditions of men. Lies, vain deceit. You see? You're gonna be spoiled, man. Meaning it's gonna go bad for you. Your life you're not gonna live. All these things gonna make you die. You understand? Drop that, brother. Let's get matter of fact, yeah, let's get Leviticus. Leviticus 11:1. Barbecue shop. Because this book right here, don't know other book. The book of Enoch, the book of Jasher, the Quran, none of these books. And I'm gonna tell you, when I first heard that the Bible, I'm gonna let the Bible speak. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let the Bible say it. You got that, sir?
Yeah, it's the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel, saying,
Speaking unto the children of who?
Israel.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Read.
Saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
You see that? Now this talking about now we know that we just talking about food. You know what I mean? A cow, that's a beast. You see? A goat, you see? But I'm saying that to say this. These other books don't teach you what you can and cannot eat.
Right.
Let me give you a small example right quick. Let me drop down to verse 7. And it ain't no small example. It's a big example because our people always eating this. And we don't know it's in the Bible that it's a sin to eat it. You see? Because we learning out of these other books and doctrines of, even in Christianity, you don't learn this in the Christian church. So what the hell are they teaching you in there? Go ahead.
Verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof.
You see that? And the swine. That's a pig. That's pork. Read.
And be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
And of their flesh shall ye what?
Shall ye not eat.
You see that? Of their flesh shall ye not eat, man. So this book right here is telling us what we supposed to eat and what we're not supposed to eat. Now you go read that whole Leviticus 11, it goes in more detail. You see what I'm saying? Of what you can and cannot eat. If you ain't familiar with what these animals are, call us. You see that number that's on the screen right there? We got our number. We got our website right here. Ask us, man. We got you. We not like the Christian church. We here, listen, we don't get paid for this, man. We here for our people, man. Why? Because we love our people, man.
Well,
We trying not to lead them astray. We trying to lead you back to the Most High power, the Most High God of the Bible, man. The black God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. You see? Drop that, brother. Let's get Ecclesiasticus 19, verse 18. It's in the Apocrypha. Salak, I know you know that. This is for the students. Ecclesiasticus 19 and 18. Write these scriptures down, Israel. So you don't think, you see, we not making this up. You ain't gonna learn these prophecies and what to do and what not to do in these other books, man. And they're talking about the specific people. If you would, sir.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19 and verse 18. The fear of the Most High is the first step to be accepted.
You see that? The fear of the Lord, man, is the first step to be accepted. Go ahead.
Of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love.
You see that? How do you get wisdom? If wisdom obtaineth the love of the Most High, how do you get wisdom? You see? You get wisdom by fearing God.
Well,
The fear of the Lord is wisdom. Obeying His law, statutes, and commandments is wisdom. You're not going to go read this in all them other books where you think you're so wise, Dr. Umar Johnson. We still waiting on that school, brother. Commander General Yana building schools all over the planet, in North, Central, and South America, in and outside of the United States. You see? We still waiting on that school, Umar. You so smart. You understand? Yet, you know nothing.
well,
You know what I'm saying? Because if you knew something, you would be in the ISUPK learning these laws, statutes, and commandments and learning how to obey the Most High God.
that's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Hey, drop that. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 14 and 4. This one right here going to be a little bit funny, man. Because this is going to show y'all that black people wrote this Bible, man. This is going to be a little funny right here. You know what I mean? And let me this little example right quick, man. You know what I mean? Show you a little example that this was written for black people. Not Ethiopians, not Caucasians, not Chinese people. Because none of them got a diet like this. You got that, Adwan?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
These are the beasts which ye shall eat.
Uh-huh.
The ox.
Oxtails. What Caucasians y'all know eat oxtails, man? Come on, man. It's a black man's book, man.
Well,
You don't see no Chinese people eating no goddamn oxtails. You see them eating octopus. You see? They eating unlawful stuff. We naturally eat oxtails. This in the Bible, man, this is a black man's book, man. The Bible is FUBU, for us, by us, man.
well,
Y'all just got to throw a little dry humor in there right quick with that oxtails, man. We're going to drop that right quick. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Because the Quran ain't going to teach you slavery. I'm about to show you slavery in the Bible. The 48 laws of power don't show you our slavery.
that's right.
You see? The book of Jasher and Enoch and the book of Lilith. The book of Lilith. Good night, boy. They kill me, man. But we're going to show you slavery, man. And right here in this Bible. This ain't no hoax. Write these scriptures down so you can see it for yourself. Don't bring your opinion. Bring a pen and a piece of paper so you can jot down the scriptures. You got that?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt.
You see that? It say, and the Most High. So the Lord made us go through slavery. Egypt is a Greek word which means bondage.
Right.
House of bondage. Bondage is another word for slavery. The Most High made us go in slavery because we disobeyed his law. We got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, which is Israel, because we wanted to learn the knowledge of the other nations. And he kicked us out of our land and put us in slavery for that, man. A hard head make a soft behind.
Well,
Read.
it's like Shabbat, y'all. I don't know, you want the precept of that? Egypt, house of bondage.
Come. Absolutely.
That's the precept. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Most High, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Good night. Get a Lord a hand for that. Good night. Hey, get him again, Baba Kashab. Hey, get him one of them two pieces you be laying on him in that boxing ring.
So,
Man, that was him.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord, I am the Most High, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
House of bondage. So Egypt means bondage, slavery. That's what it means. But I bet you don't know other book tell you how we would get here in this slavery. Guess what? The Bible does.
Right.
Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. We're gonna get it from the top. This gonna get. I bet y'all didn't see. Y'all didn't know our slavery was in this Bible, man.
Right.
Everything is in this Bible. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
How did we get to America?
With ships.
So we got into bondage, aka slavery, with ships.
Right.
Who else came to America on transatlantic slave trade ships? It's called the transatlantic slave trade. The Bible prophesied this years ago, man. This is in Deuteronomy. So you're talking what, 5,000, 6,000 years ago? Come on, man. You're not gonna get prophecy. I ain't seen nobody. Don't nobody prophesy out the Quran that we was gonna go into slavery. And all these other books that y'all swear to give y'all wisdom. Nick Cannon, Umar Johnson, all these people who think they smart, just as dumb as you look. Okay. Keep going.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, meaning where I'm saying this at right now, where we saying this at right now. Keep going.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Where I'm telling you this at, we in our land right now. But I'm telling you this because you'll never see this land again. Now, have we ever been back to our homeland? You forget we came over here on slave ships. Have we ever left back out on a ship? We still in bondage because this scripture say we shall see it no more again. See what no more again? Our homeland, Jerusalem, Israel, Yahshua Allah. Read.
And there ye shall be sold.
And there we shall be what?
And there ye shall be sold.
Say this part right here boldly.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemy.
Unto your who?
Unto your enemy.
Now, who got sold to their enemies, man? I got one nigga right here, one buck right here. Give me two right here. Give me that young female right there. I got a young buck. Auction us off. We were sold unto our enemies, man. Keep reading.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
For slaves. Bond is the root word of bondage. Bondage means slavery. Keep reading.
And no man shall buy you.
And buy you is an old English word, man, which means redeem. You see? Ain't nobody came and redeemed us. Y'all reading all this Mayat and Kemet. Where's the commission? The commission people come to save their people since we so Kemet. Since we Egyptians, since we so African, where's the African army to free their people? We're not African, you see. But our slavery and us being sold to our enemies was prophesied years ago. You understand? Let's go to Deuteronomy 30 and 19. We're getting short on time. I'm about to clip it up. I got one more scripture after this, and we're going to get out of here, Ottawa.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 30 and 19.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you.
See that? I call heaven and earth to what? Record. Record. We keep records. You understand? This Bible is big. He recorded it. These records are for our learning, man. Keep going.
That I have set before you, Salaki, that I have set before you life and death.
Keep going.
Blessing and cursing.
Blessings and curses. You see? Going to slavery, picking cotton is a curse.
Right.
You understand? Keep going.
Therefore, choose life.
Therefore what?
Choose life.
Now, how do you choose life? By obeying the law, statutes, and commandments. In fact, that same life that the Most High breathed into Adam's nostrils, which
Right.
is his law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Well, we must choose life. Read.
That both thou and thy seed may live.
You see that? That you and your kids might live, man. And I ain't just talking about be alive. I'm talking about live as in spiritually awakened. Out of that deep sleep we've been in. Under the dogma of Christianity, man. And these other books we've been reading. You understand? The Bible is the only book of the Most High, man.
Right.
Keep reading.
Verse 20. That thou mayest love the Most High thy power. That thou mayest obey his voice.
How do you obey his voice? The Bible is his voice. It's the word of the Lord. Read.
And that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he is thy life.
He is thy what?
Thy life.
Now we can go to the book of the dead.
For he is thy life.
Now the Quran, what you call it? The Quran.
For he is thy life.
Read on.
In the length of thy days.
Keep going. Good night.
That thou mayest dwell in the land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers.
The Most High. In other words, the Most High promised that land to our land to our forefathers. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's our land over there. How do we get that land back? Read.
That thou mayest dwell in the land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob.
Now you see what that say? It don't say that thou mayest dwell in America. It say that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord swear unto thy fathers. So we actually got a land too, man. Why is we over here? Because the Bible prophesied that we would get kicked out of our land, out of the garden. We got kicked out of the garden. What's the garden? Israel. That's where we come from. All these years we've been wandering, in North, Central, and South America, calling ourselves Mexican, Guatemalan, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Trinidadian, Tobago. We've been calling ourselves Jamaicans, Negro. We've been calling ourselves African American. You see, Afro-American, colored, all this Afro. Oh, I'm Afro-Dominican. I'm Afro-Latino. You ain't Afro nothing. You belong to the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel.
Well,
you understand? Now, I got to hit them off with Ecclesiastes. This is my last scripture, Israel. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. One of my favorite scriptures, man. Let's get to the conclusion. All right. I think I might end every class with this scripture right here. Get some more on this. This is the last scripture. And we're going to clip it up. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let us hear what?
The conclusion of the whole matter.
Read.
Fear the Most High.
Do what?
Fear the Most High.
Go ahead.
And keep his commandments.
And do what?
And keep his commandments.
And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer N.W.O.
I don't have the announcement.
Oh, okay. Oh, Salakia. I'll go ahead and read them.
It's Shrakata.
Hey, Shkata. The water, sir.
Most High cry.
All right. With that, Imajim, which means to stand. We're going to read the security, Isupk security announcements. Let me get back this way. All right, there we go, right there. All right. We are the Isupk. Under Commanding General Yohana, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the word. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations would be September the 6th coming up. We got the memorial blowing of the trumpets. We're going to have it here right here at the school at 1539 North Ridge Avenue here in Kannapolis, North Carolina. I think we're going to get things started around about 7, if I'm not mistaken. Salakia, if I'm said the wrong time, but I believe Abraham said we're going to get things started around 7, which means you probably want to get here around about 6. You see? You want to get here, get your seat, be here on time, you know what I mean? So we can reference our high holy days instead of these holidays Americans have given us, you see. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, headband, and scarf. And with that, Amijah, which means to stand. Wapin Yah Adam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakuka, Taba'ah, Ratzaka, Hayah, Asha, Baratza, Kawa, Hayah, Ashemaya, Thunanaw, Nakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknaw, Kawatinaw, Kasalaknaw, Kawatinaw, Walaa, Tabi'anaw, Panasayawan, Abal, Kawashanaw, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Naka, Amalaka, Wa'ala, Watapara, Wa'alaman, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory. Forever, so be it. I'm gonna go ahead and just salute out. So, hey, Amijah Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat Barakathon. With that, class dismissed.